How you doing? Episode 7 of the Men Without Flaws podcast. But before we get into that, just want to give a big shout out to our sponsors. Cardinal Point Screen Printing and Embroidery has hundreds of products for your business, sports team, or function. Upload your logo or start your design today at cardinalpointscreenprint.com. Jacob, that's my guy. He's the best, super talented. Definitely hit him up. Their Cardinal Point Screen Printing link is actually on the local Big Time website. Scroll to the bottom, hit that. You can get a quote. My guy Jacob, he'll hook you up. He's the man. He also does jerseys too. So if you're looking for your men's league to get fitted up, definitely give him a call. He does embroidery. He does custom print. So anything you can think of, he can make it. Super talented. He doesn't get enough credit. H. Pelletier, a member of our HYHA family, has been battling cancer. He's going through chemotherapy and is recovering from amputation surgery. There's an amazing fundraiser happening right now at cardinalpointscreenprint.com. You can buy Team Gage hats, sweatshirts in support. So I know I got my Team Gage gear coming. It's awesome. Really like those sweatshirts. They got the hockey lace, kind of tying it back to the hockey theme. Gage, hockey player. So hockey community's with you. Hope you're battling strong. If you need anything, just let us know. Also, our final sponsor, Burger Bar, 231 College Parkway, Colchester, Vermont. Use promo code BIGTIMEBURGER with an A for 10% off your next online purchase. Excludes alcohol. Better try their shakes because I saw the owner, Cody. Guy was crushing it. Putting full donuts in some of these milkshakes, and they're dangerous too. They also put alcohol in some of their milkshakes. Highly suggest it. It's like Bailey's. It's dangerous. You could probably bury at least like 3 of those and won't remember your name. So definitely check them out. Highly suggest the Frontier Burger. I know it's a burger bar, but the chicken sandwich has the same breading as Chick-fil-A, and mwah, masterpiece. Good work, Cody. Don't want to pump your tires too much. You're still all right. And make sure to check out localbigtime.com/shop where you can get all your local big time gear. So stores open. Got some great gear. Getting ready for our summer launch coming up soon, next couple months. So get ready. And yeah, definitely support small business because the more shirts you guys buy, the better that me and the boys here can do. And we can keep growing and keep this thing going. So definitely show your support. Buy some local big time gear. Support the cause. And let's get started with the show. Riley, we have quite the story we got lined up here with the golf fitting. I hope you're ready.
I can't wait.
Fuck yeah, let's do it. All right. So I texted Segs this, and he laughed. But so yesterday, Saturday, I think I can't remember if I said this on the podcast earlier, but like the week before, if I had my golf fitting or not. But last Saturday I go to Dick's. I'm like, oh, how's the process work to get fitted? He goes, oh, just make an appointment, no problem. The guy I worked with, so cool, got it, like same age. We're both on the same page, right? Like we had
Yeah.
like a grand old time. So I'm hoping, like, I was like, oh, am I gonna get you again? He's like, no. He's like, you're gonna get someone else, but I'll make sure that they know like to expect you. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, just make sure like they're cool. Like I don't want to deal with any tits. So fast forward to this past Saturday, right? So the fittings at 9:30 in the morning, right? I have a tea time at like I don't know 10:45, 11 ish. I can't remember when it was, but it was like
Yeah.
pretty decent amount of time between myself getting the fitting and being able to play golf, right?
Yeah.
So I pack up everything because I'm like expecting to play golf. Like I'm like, all right, I might as well just bring everything: clubs, cart, shoes, all that shit. Now, my personal style when I roll over to the course, I like to wear flip flops. I'm not gonna wear my golf shoes like a tit. I don't want to ruin them. Number one, and you look like the biggest tool bag walking around in golf shoes and like Hannafords and like just random spots in the parking lot, right? So I
Well, you're really not supposed to wear them, right?
exactly. That's exactly what I
Like,
said too.
like wearing it's like wearing skates like on
And
concrete. It's like doesn't
yeah,
look.
it's like you're just gonna ruin them too. So
Yeah.
like, the appointment's at 9:30. I get there like 9:15, right? So I'm showing up early, checking off all the boxes. This guy means business, all business. And like I'm going there like just to like check in, see what I need to go get in my bag to like make the shit happen. Like I have no idea what she needs, right?
Yeah.
So I walk into Dick's. Mind you, let me preface this. So I'm walking into Dick's as a group of like 4 girls, maybe high school age, like freshman year,
Yeah.
and their mom are walking out of Dick's. An employee says something like follows them out to the parking lot, like right at the edge where the sidewalk ends, like right in front of Dick's, right? Or this undisclosed place, depending on who you ask. But it was Dick's. Um, and so the employee like said something to like the girls. I forget what it was, but it was about like their sweatshirts or something they just bought, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And so the girls are like, they kind of like shrug it off, like joking, like laughing, kind of like how like teenage girls do when like they get in trouble or something like that. They just giggle and run away. The mom is trailing behind her, stops as soon as the lady says something and walks back in. Stops in her tracks, goes, "Oh no, she's not getting away with that." And like beelines it back inside, right? So I'm walking in this place 9:15 in the morning. In the fucking morning, there's fights, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is beautiful. I love a nice little parking lot
Yeah.
fight. I think it's the best. That's why I love going to Walmart. You see like just total meltdowns in front of you. So the mom beelines it back inside. I come through the doors. She's like straight through the doors to the right by the cash register. She's like talking to some manager, yelling like, "Your employee followed me out, yelling at my kids," or something like that. I wish I stayed because I really want to know why the lady
Yeah.
followed out.
What could they have possibly have done? They were with their mother, right? Like,
Right? They're with their fucking mom. Like, what could they have possibly done, like, to piss this lady off? It's beyond me. And I've never seen an employee like follow someone out to the parking lot to like yell at them. Right? So I knew something fucked
yeah,
up
no, no, no.
had to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like in my head, jokingly in the back of my head, I go, "Oh, this is a good start to your fitting." Like
Yeah.
shrugging it off, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, like not started off with a bad vibe right away.
Yeah.
So um, so I walk in and like I didn't want to stick around for a convo because I was like too excited to get the fitting done. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, let's get in that
Yeah, you're thinking.
simulator and let's start crushing balls, like have some fun. Like
Uh-huh.
this could be a great warm up to like pre golf. Hopefully get the clubs, walk out, get some practice on them. So I roll up to the golf section. This old lady, like oldish lady, is there. She
Mhm.
looks up at me, just me and her, right? She's like, you come to a fitting in sandals?" She's like, you're not gonna get fitted today." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What?" For starters, they're in the car. I'm like, "Just tell me what I need. I'm just like coming in here to check it out and go grab it." She's like, "Well, you need shoes." I'm like, "All right, I'll get those. Those are in the car." I'm like, "Do we need any clubs?" She's like, "Yeah, 7-iron. It's universal." I'm like, "Okay." For starters, I did not even know this was a fact. I'm
Yeah.
like, every fucking golf bag has clubs 5 through 9. So like every club's universal, dumbass. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Seven's universal. There's every bag comes 5 through 9, unless you like little anger problems like me a couple years ago and throw your 9 wood in the woods. But like every set of clubs comes 5 through 9. So in my head, every club's universal. Like everyone has pretty much the same bag. Like
Yeah. And listen,
5 through 9, pitching wedge, couple drivers, right? Like
forget about the universal list that there is no reason at 9:15 in the morning for this lady in the golf session to be
yeah,
giving you a hard time.
hardest time too. I'm like, dude,
That
she yelled at me, and right there, I got like the worst vibe. I'm like, oh fuck, this is
yeah,
really gonna make a fun.
that is just completely unacceptable.
Oh, I'm like, this is gonna be so enjoyable to get
Yeah.
fitting done with Satan as your fucking caddy, right? So like, I'm like, all right. So I walk back out to the car. I get my 7, get my shoes, walk back in, right? Get all fitted up. Or she's like, she was already yelling at like one of her like employees under her about like
Yeah.
the scheduling. I'm like, dude, I was ready to fucking swing my own 7-iron at her head like within 10 seconds of being there because she was just such a prick.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at the kid next to me while she was giving him the hardest time about like the scheduling. It's like, well, he can't schedule this because he'll be scheduled for 3 hours and we need people on the floor. And I'm like, oh, that poor fucking kid has to deal with her. I dealt with her for maybe, I don't know, 40 minutes, not even. Uh,
Right. Oh, so we're just getting started.
oh, just we haven't even
Oh,
taken practice swings yet. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
this is. I'm already like, oh fuck, this lady's like a drill sergeant. I'm like, this fuck, you're gonna kill my time. Like I'm just having. I just want to have the greatest Saturday ever. Like get fitted for some clubs, swing
Yeah,
some
dude.
balls into the
Weather's starting to get nice, dude. Got to get out there. Yep.
the simplest task, right?
Yeah.
So then she's like, all right, get warmed up, start swinging. So I'm just like fucking, like just like swinging in the air, right? Till she grabs the balls, pours them out. So in this, so at the simulator, you have the mat, you
Yeah.
got the wall with I don't even think there's like a screen. It's just a fucking net, right?
It's like like a tarp or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like you off to the corner, like at like a 90-degree angle, like a 45-degree angle is like this metal box where I guess like that's where like the simulator does like the registration of like the club head and the ball and all that shit.
Yeah.
So and she's like she like puts the first ball down and she's like, all right, take a swing. So I take like a swing and she's like telling me like the instructions. She's like something about like she's like swing while it's red. Like you can get as many swings in while it's red because it won't register. And I guess what they want to do is they want to take like your 6 swings with the register on, and then they want to average like your distance, all that shit to get like their fitting right. So like she's like fucking like snapping orders off of me. She's like, put the ball down, right? So I'm like swinging. She's like, it's not ready yet. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Like you just told me to swing. Like,
And I mean, we talked about this in previous episodes too. I have to ask because you're the one that brought it up. Did you get any stage fright swinging in front of her?
so that's so funny. On the way over, my buddy goes, "You gonna have her look away?" I go, I wish, I wish she'd look away. This
Yeah.
only gets better,
I
right?
mean, it's worse. It's probably worse too because she's giving you a hard time, so you're already rattled. And
Dude,
yeah,
I'm
I
beyond.
think the first one it goes right, hits you right in the shin.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the Titanic moment yet. Okay, we've just hit the
Oh,
iceberg,
this is
right?
awesome.
So we have hit the iceberg. We're starting to take on water, right? This is
Yeah.
like she's yelling at me because I'm swinging when the thing's like she's like, you gotta wait 3 blinks, then when it goes red, right? So like I like hit it and I'm like, okay, when's this thing like when do I put the ball down? She's like, well, put a ball down right now. I'm like, what? I was putting the ball down. So then like we're starting to get ready for like when it starts to get registered, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, you gotta wait till it's green, right? I'm like, okay, where do you put the ball down? Like I wasn't there for training on the fucking simulator. I don't know anything, right? Like I wasn't there when we were doing the fucking training. So like she's yelling at me for like the practice swings, right? So I'm already like, this fucking lady, I'm about to swing my club so hard at you if you keep snapping at me. And then she just keeps going. For starters, I like go to, so I'm a kind of a entangled type of guy. I like to put
Yeah.
my fingers like that, and I like a little choke up on it. She already made a comment about my grip, right? She goes, "That's the way you're gonna hold the club." I'm like, "Well, that's the way I fucking
Oh,
held the club for like a million years. So yeah, that's the way I'm gonna hold the club." Okay. So she's like, "No, no, choke back up." I'm like, "Oh, you're giving me golf tips now? We're doing fitting right now."
yeah.
I'm
Playing
like, yeah, I'm like, for starters, I have an inside scoop. I know a kid who beat you in golf, and he's about the same speed as me. So you should never give anybody tips. All right. So for starters, stop right there. And then, so she fucking makes the adjustment on my grip. So now I'm like fucking in my head. All right. I'm like, fuck, the thing's like a little bit longer than where I'm like used to now. Now I gotta like fix like where I'm standing, and I'm wearing. It's fucking cold out, right? So I'm wearing like these windbreaker pants, but they're kind of like they're not as tight, so you can't like how you like even sweatpants, if you were to bend your knee, it still kind of looks straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like yelling at me for not bending my knees. I'm like, listen, my fucking knees are bent. These pants are like pretty big, right? It's fucking cold out. I want to put like long johns underneath.
Yeah.
I'm basically playing golf when it's pond hockey weather, right?
Yeah.
Like we're fully dialed in, committed, right? So I'm not wearing tight pants. So like I'm bending my knees. She's like yelling at me for not bending my knees. I'm like, my fucking knees are bent, okay? I'm like really bending my knees, like trying to like swing like basically baseball bat slice it every time, right?
Yeah.
I'm fucking hitting the roof. I'm hitting the wall. I was like not having the great. I'm like so rattled at this point that she's like correcting me. She's like, "Well, I'm not a pro. I just know how it's all done." I'm like, "Oh, you're not a pro. Okay, so let's just stop right there. You're not a pro. You're not an instructor. You've established that. So just
Yeah.
shut the fuck up and just do the fucking registration." Okay? She got me so rattled, dude. I hit the ceiling. I've never hit a ceiling with a 7-iron. It went straight into the air, right? She's just yelling at me the whole time. She's like, "Is that your swing? Is that your swing?" I'm like, "Well, no, because now I don't know what to do anymore." Like, she just kept asking me, "Is that your swing? Is that your natural swing?" I'm like, no, because you just keep yelling at me every time. Like, and then for the registration of the, mind you, the register to have the ball register, I guess you have to wait for the light to turn green. So
Yeah.
I would hit, and in my head, I'm like, okay, wait for her to watch it, set it back up, make the light green, right? So I'm like watching her screen. She's like, put a ball down, like, what the fuck? Like, put a ball down, like again. She's like, well, not there, not there. Get it back into the green. I'm like, oh my god, like just point to a fucking spot so I can put the ball down. Like, stop yelling at me for 10 fucking seconds so I can hit the ball and not A, have you looking at me, and B, shatter my confidence within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, what my grip is, and then ask me if that's my swing. I'm like, fuck no, it's not my swing. I'm about to swing your head. How about that? That's my fucking swing. So, she's like, because right now it's telling me you need ladies clubs for flex. I'm like, yeah. Do you really? I'm like, you really think I need ladies clubs right now? Looking at me, you think I need ladies clubs? and
I
and
was just like low key chirping you a little bit, dude.
dude, she was giving me the business. Okay. On top of that, I have one of my buddies over in the corner behind like the fucking coat racks filming me too. So I have like the entire world as my audience, and we already know I don't swing well in front of public.
Yeah.
So you sprinkle on her yelling at me nonstop because of the I'm screwing up the simulator.
Yeah.
She's like, you can't let balls get on the simulator. I'm like, what? Why didn't you tell me that beforehand, dickhead? Like, I'm sorry, I wasn't there for fucking training. Like, don't yell at me for fucking. I'm smoking the ball at the net. Where do you think it's gonna go? It's gonna roll back. Like, obviously, you want maybe a quick heads up for that one. How about it?
You want to play goalie now, huh?
Yeah. So then we finally get the. She gives me the clubs, right? She's like, all right, let's. She was like so pissed at me too because I wasn't giving her like. She's like, is that your normal swing? I'm like, what do you think it is? Do you think that's my normal swing? It's like we're like back and forth at this point. Like
You're getting hot.
yeah, chirping her. She's chirping me. So she gives me the club. She's like, why don't you just take a 5, take a breather? I'm like, nah, not this. I'm done. Like at this point, I'm just like, let's just get the fucking thing over. I'm so checked out. She's like been yelling at me for like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Throughout the whole time I'm trying to swing. I can't either. No matter what I'm doing, I'm not doing it right because she just keeps blasting me.
Yeah.
So she gives me a club. She's like, take 5 seconds, take a breather, take a swing. So then, I'm like, it feels super fucking whippy. She's like, well, it shouldn't. I'm like, I'm just telling you what I feel. Like, I'm just telling you how it is, right? All I feel is fucking lag when I swing. Because I swear she gave me the fucking ladies flex, right? I'm like, I've had ladies clubs. It's like fucking shooting with like a 77 flex, dude. This thing is so whippy. It hits the ground and the club doesn't even like, the club top part is like here. The club's like back here. It just hits the ground, just fucking flexes the whole way through. And so like she gives me this club, and like now I have to like fucking get used to her stupid tall ass grip where she has like my knees bent till the club's like in my chest, and I'm like swinging like this. And yeah, after I hit the ceiling, I was just like, I turned to her, I go, that's it, I'm all set, I'm good. Like I just left. I just handed her a club back. I go, I'm all set. I just walked out.
That's how it ended.
Yeah, I walked out. Didn't even pay for the fitting.
That's unbelievable, dude.
I'm like,
So what's did you complain? Like, did you say anything to anybody about it?
I was so rattled that she ruined my one thing I was like looking forward to.
Yeah.
That I was just like, I just went in the car and went to the golf course and played. I was just like, fuck this. I'm like,
Oh,
I
are
don't
you gonna
see. I'm at a standstill though, because like I want to get the fitting done, but I'm also gonna call in and be like, I don't want her. Like someone, it's gonna be so fucking awkward because no matter what, Chief over there has to fucking see the sheet. I could give a shit. I hope she knows. I'm probably the first person who's ever walked out mid fitting because she was just like beaking me so hard.
Yeah.
I texted my buddy who I played against. I go, that lady's not very nice. He goes, yeah, no, she's a total bitch. Like he knew the whole time. He set me up.
Unbelievable.
Dude, I couldn't believe. I think I'm the first person in history to ever walk out on a fitting, mid fitting. Just get so rattled. Just be like, yep, I'm over. Like I'm okay. I just handed the club back. I'm done. Thanks. I just whoop, grabbed my shoes, grabbed my flip flops, and just left.
Like, be a decent human being like that. That sounds like you just is
Fuck
miserable and just
Satan.
yeah.
Satan. I'm like, okay, let's go on the simulator. Like, let's go play a quick 18 real quick.
Yeah.
Let me get my confidence back. Let's go play a quick 18.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you're shooting from the Reds. I'm gonna fucking crush that ball past you, for starters, so you have no thing to stand on.
Yep.
Okay, it's at my full swing. I was so pissed off. I was so rattled. And then like my mom got me like Tiger Woods balls too, so I was like looking forward to like new clubs, those new Bridgestone Tiger Woods balls.
Yeah.
Can't wait to donate to the Woods.
Yeah.
That's gonna be beautiful.
Well, how'd you play? How'd you play after that?
First couple holes, I was still rattled. It was, but start.
You can't play golf angry.
Yeah, no, you can't, because I was still so pissed off. I'm like, that's fucking late. Like, I was so excited. I'm like, yes, gonna get new clubs. I'm done with this whole fucking shit. And then, like, she just fucked with your head, like, because now you're just thinking about your swing, you know?
Yeah.
And first couple holes, shitty, but we turned it around. It was like 530-yard courses. So it was, so basically first round out of the season, right? The week leading up to it, only practiced the drivers, and it showed because I was crushing the ball, and then my irons were fucking terrible. Like I couldn't even. I was also rattled about the irons too, so like I couldn't even, like I'm in my head, I'm like making like slight adjustments, like fuck, you should have done that. Fuck, you should have just kept it, because the way we were playing, we were shooting like 80s. We were crushing it.
Yeah.
I mean, the simulator, we were having a time.
That's unreal.
I was fucking so rattled, but
You're gonna have to we're gonna have to give everyone a little update. I think
we'll be getting up. I'm still trying to figure out. I don't even know what to do. I'm like, do I let it breathe for like 2 weeks and then call back with a fake name for a fitting? Michael Callione for a fitting.
That's incredible.
Just like shave this shit, but keep the mustache and like grow it in thicker, and then wear like a hat. Come in next time.
Mask it up.
I could be banned because I walked away from. Fuck that. I'm not paying $50 for a fit. I didn't even get fitted. She didn't tell me it. She didn't deserve it.
Exactly.
Probably banned, but we'll find out. When the kid answers. He goes, "Is this the kid that walked out on the fitting?" Yeah, we've never had that before. You're a first.
Yeah.
Fitting's supposed to be fucking fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But, did you see that tanker in like Egypt?
Tanker?
Yeah.
The one that's stuck in the boat? Yeah, it's stuck in the canal.
Okay. This is the funniest thing I saw on the internet. Okay, I just sent it to your phone. Take a look.
All right, let's see it.
The first meme. You're gonna piss yourself. So it's a picture of the tanker stuck, and you know how they have that one bulldozer?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, they have like this one bulldozer. Have you watched any of the footage? It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny you say this. There are a couple of guys like the guy down at the firehouse. They were talking about it. One of the guys, like he does like heavy machinery, like as his job.
Yeah.
And he was they were talking about it, and they're like, he's like, they have one dredger down there, one.
Yeah.
That's it.
And they have like a team of scientists. Like so the tweet reads for the people at home in case you you have it pulled up. You got it on you?
Yeah. I got it.
It's just the boat and just a fucking bulldozer.
We got a picture of the the container ship here, and there's one, and dude, that just shows you how big these things are. Dude, look at that. That's a big piece of machinery. Like
They're
that thing.
floating cities.
Yeah, that thing's real small. Looking next to that boat. Look, I don't want to tell anyone how to do their job or anything, but maybe a second bulldozer.
It's like the greatest. When I saw that, I was fucking pissing my pants because it makes so much sense. Like you just had fucking German engineers fly to Egypt to get this fucking boat out, and they're like, yeah, it's gonna cost like 10 billion a week, lost in revenue for how long this boat's stuck. You
Yeah,
have one fucking bulldozer to save 10 billion a week. Like,
yeah.
what the fuck? I I think they need a live cam. I would watch that shit on Twitch the whole time because watching one bulldozer dig a hole for like while a giant boat's stuck is
Yeah.
fucking
It's still
priceless.
there. Right? They haven't got it out yet. Did they?
Still there, still there. They still got one bulldozer. Like what is the all they have to do is fucking dig the hole, right? And the thing's gonna get unwedged.
Well, the way it is, it's like it's wedged. The way it's wedged, I think they just gotta like kind of they just gotta like dredge and just kind of make it a little bit wider so they can get it out.
Yeah, like they just didn't have any bulldozers in Egypt or fucking like
I don't know, man.
that fucking thing kills me. It's so fucking funny. But yeah, I think a live cam, just watching that one little backhoe do this, like so slowly for like 20 minutes while the thing's jammed and like there's like a mile of like more beach where it's stuck. And like this one little backhoe just scooped the little pockets out.
Unbelievable.
I love the internet. The internet's undefeated.
Unbelievable.
How about, all right, you want to hear something great? Let me crack this bad boy. Speaking of, this kind of just reminded me of it, but now that I drink a seltzer, a little Bud Light watermelon mojito. Tried there's a mango one.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad. Oh, I wish this wasn't piss warm. That's a good first taste. It tastes like a fucking mojito. Shit, I need some ice for this drink. That's actually, I'll give you that one, Bud Light. You slipped one past me. I'll give you that one. That's earned. So I like that little minty taste at the end. But you want to hear something fucking hilarious? Speaking of booze, right? And the internet just made me think of this. So one of my favorite things, late night, just getting lost on the internet, right? Get super
Yeah.
baked, get higher than a kite, and just get lost. It's so much fun too, because you just like you go down rabbit holes and you're higher than a kite. That's how I make like the some of those little memes, like Nick and I would just get super baked and make memes. Like real late at night, we'll just go. He'll be on his phone and be looking at shit late night. I'll be on my shit, just sending stuff back and forth. How about this? So I go down a rabbit hole. Irish inventions, right? This
Yeah.
is this is so funny but true. All right. Irish inventions. There's a 300-year gap from the 14th century to the 17th century. The funniest part about that is whiskey. After whiskey was invented in the 14th century, there was a 300-year gap for inventions. There was no inventions to the 17th century after Irish whiskey was invented. How fucking hilarious is that?
How
I
was
say,
that? I was thinking.
dude, I sent you that link. Look at your phone.
Yeah.
I was pissed. I'm like, this can't be true. And then I go, oh my God, this plays into like every stereotype about drunk Irish people. Like, as soon as whiskey was invented, these guys are just crushed for the next 300 years. No one wants to invent shit.
14th century, 17th to the 17th century.
300-year gap after whiskey was invented. I'm guessing AA was probably invented in the 17th century, and then the inventions probably came back. How
That's
fucking hilarious is that?
I can't believe you found that.
Dude,
Yeah,
how
it says Gaelic football and whiskey, 14th century, and then
yeah.
that's it.
Well, we know what the boys are doing for the next 300 years. Like, just
Uh,
getting crushed and watching. Dude,
and
that.
the first invention of the 17th century was Irish road bowling. What is
Just like any backyard festivity they could think of while getting shit faced. Like,
uh,
oh,
Irish road bowling?
fucking Irish
I
people.
think I have to look that up right now. That's too good.
I don't even know what road bowling is.
Me
I'm
neither.
actually I'm invested now. I thought the funniest part was the last invention of the 14th century, Irish whiskey, hiatus 300 years. In the
Yeah,
17th century they make up road bowling. Like that took probably zero effort, guys. Come on. You put some pins in, you probably rollerblade around and throw the shit.
bro. It's literally it's bowling in the road. That's what it is, literally.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's what you fuckers invented 300 years later? Oh my god. That's too good. Yeah, the Irish whiskey, 300-year fucking proper 12. Hats off to you, buddy. You did it.
Mr. McGregor.
Mr. McGregor himself.
Oh my god, that's classic.
Fucking I couldn't believe that was a real thing. Like the fact that I saw something in my rabbit hole, I'm like, no way that's a real thing. And the guy was like kind of like shedding light on it. He goes, has anyone looked at like the history of like Irish inventions? And so I was like, no. So I started like looking at it and I looked it up. I'm like, this is fucking pure gold.
That's unbelievable. 300 years.
300-year gap after Irish whiskey was invented. The next invention. And it's road bowling. Those fucking drunks. Yeah, road bowl might get a couple lanes down at the old neighborhood there.
Yep. Yep. Couple avenues. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's fucking
Ramen.
crazy how if this year has felt like 10. Like Tiger King, doesn't that feel like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I fucking was
It's
glued.
not
That show
that
was awesome. I was glued to like the first couple weeks of COVID when you that was actually it was like the scariest, most fun because like you had nothing to live for, right? So you might as well no worries, work's just
yeah.
like full halt. You're like, yep, 2 week vacay kind of. Not really. It's really sad for all the people that are dying there, but like for the rest of us, that was like 2 weeks of just like okay, pure chaos. The
Yeah.
law is just completely wiped clean. No one's on the streets.
Mhm.
I was fucking going to like supermarkets at the height of this thing with no mask on. Cause like, do you remember when they're like closing like sections down? Like I remember we went to Walmart because that was like the only place that you could go to get anything. Like if I wanted to buy like video games or like literally like anything, Walmart was like the only thing open. They like shut down everything else because it
Yeah.
wasn't essential, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't know if your state did it, but our state they like they made it so like because then like everyone's going to Walmart to buy like our big screen TVs, right? Like we're stuck
Yeah,
inside. We might as well
with the unemployment
checks.
tax, yeah.
Yeah. So then they nixed that, right? So then Walmart had to like tape like all that shit down, like
Yeah.
cover it in saran wrap so no one could buy it. So I'm like, for me at the height of the pandemic, I was going out. I wanted because I'm like, all right, if we're gonna fucking die, it's gonna be kind of cool. Like you're never gonna see this shit again. So you might as well like walk in the middle of a fucking street that's super like was super trafficy, not anymore.
Yeah,
Like going into Walmart when like the pandemic hits, it felt like I Am Legend when you're like walking through like
yeah.
the
You know what's crazy to think about too is like, I mean, think about like all the precautions we take now with the masks and some people wear gloves. Like, there's so many things like in public. I'm surprised we don't get sick more often.
dude. How
Like,
did
there's so many things that you touch or like that other people touch. Like,
it's so
uh,
disgusting when I think about that too, because I would like touch like the gas pump and then eat a sandwich.
yeah, dude, exactly. But like, that wasn't even a thought before this thing. That for me, that wasn't even a thought before this thing
How about
started. Now
fucking
I'm like, wow, like that's actually kind of kind of nasty. Like, there's so many
dude?
people.
Our white blood cells have to be so fucking good because I mean, for starters, we living at the Mellow and like playing beer pong and like Dartmouth and any of that shit. You're literally putting a ball that was on the floor after like 1,000 feet of like walked on it and
Yeah,
spit and
exactly.
like it's been in like 40 other people's cups.
Yeah,
Putting that in the water cup and then drinking it. And like you see these water cups at the end of the night. It's fucking disgusting.
yeah, yeah. It's
Fucking
wild.
one of
It's
the great.
wild to think. It's just wild to think about.
Oh, and you're like drinking like that's why I'm in the back of my mind. I'm like, all right, I think I have the antibodies. I mean, I lived at the Mellow. That thing was like a tetanus shot away from like disaster. I think I get the white blood cells because I did get super sick my senior year. at school. Like I was on my deathbed. I was so bad. And the kid that I gave it to also, he was even worse. He went to the hospital. I was like, I wanted to go to the hospital. I was Actually, I did go to the hospital. I was one day. He was like, I may have been two. No, I was one day. He was like 2 weeks. He was hurting, and like, of course, he was like the only guy that kept staying in my room when I was sick. I'm like, dude, yeah, I'm like fucking deathly ill. So after that point, I'm like, I don't think I'll ever get sick because I'm like, that was the closest thing I've ever felt to being like, I've never gone to the hospital with being sick before. I had
Yeah.
like I had 104 fever when I was in. I put myself in the cold shower. I was like playing Fortnite while and like no clothes, right? Because I'm like I couldn't sleep. I'm like a million degrees.
Sweating.
I'm like yeah, so I'm like playing Fortnite with my buddies and his his girlfriend's like a registered nurse. He's like, yeah, you gotta make sure like you don't get that thing too high. Like you gotta start taking some cold showers soon. Like what the
Yeah.
fuck do you mean, dude? When it gets that high, you're like about to like I'm like
Oh yeah.
ghost. Oh my god, I'm ghostly. I couldn't believe. I put the thermometer in my mouth. It was like 104.4. I'm like, uh oh,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah. When we were at Gunnery, it went through our whole team, dude. Like to the point where like we had to cancel games because like didn't have enough bodies to go to game. Like we missed like 2 weeks of games,
Some of
and
those,
that was brutal.
those junior seasons or like prep school hockey seasons, because it's like mid flu season, dude. You're battling like mid season, half your team's sick.
Yeah, everyone gets sick at some point. I mean, think about like how much time you guys all spend together. And dude, I don't care if anyone says,
Pre-COVID days, we're fucking licking water tops and all that shit.
and the petri the bus is like a petri dish, bro. When you're on the bus and you're on it for so long and you're so close to each other, that's how it really
Oh,
you know
we had the
starts.
flu so bad once on our team. We like designated a corner. It was like, okay, that's the sickness corner. Don't come like we're gonna do the chalk talk. Like on the good side, you guys stay there from a distance and watch it. Like, uh, it's fucking it's crazy because it you can see the spread of it so fast. And I didn't really like think about this till like COVID now made you like so conscious of like germs and shit. Where like
Yeah,
you'd see like one guy would have a cough on the bus, and then they would just like start from like the guy who was behind him got sick, and then like everyone else got sick
yeah,
after.
it's
Like
crazy. That's
crazy.
how it works.
It's so fucking wild how
Yeah.
fast that shit spreads.
How long do you think we're gonna be wearing masks for?
That's the thing. So here's the thing that I keep thinking about. When this shit's all said and done, are you gonna still like wipe down like after you touch a gas pump, are you gonna like sanitize your hands?
Dude, I don't know, man. I mean, now because like I just like talking
Like
about it, like that's what I think about because it's just kind of been like a routine now.
made me like a germaphobe. I can't
Yeah,
not stop like wiping shit down because I'm just
yeah,
like so it just makes me so like eerie, like knowing like all the shit I did before. I'm like, how the fuck do I not have herpes or like any like how am I still kicking or like how we haven't wiped the man off the face of the earth
yeah,
with like the shit we have now? Like I don't see it going back. I see like for starters, if I'm feeling fat, toss a mask on. No double chin. Like,
yeah,
like the mask is great. Like, if you want to get underage booze, put a mask on, put some sunglasses on, get a fake ID, you're golden. Like, this mask thing is just open up, but like, I also fucking hate wearing the mask. It sucks.
yeah. It does suck, man.
But I
Like I
love,
think and they might even like even if they say they like lift the ban,
yeah.
I think people are still gonna wear it.
I mean, this kind of sounds like kind of biased, but like, I wouldn't mind if the restaurant industry had to keep wearing the mask. I worked in the restaurant industry. I can tell you how gross that shit is. Like, you have people that will touch plates that were discarded, right? Shit, food regurgitated with their bare hands. Go back, like after they clear a plate, put it down to the dish room, and then like grab two plates that are ready to go, and then like put them down at someone else's seat. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, this is so like for me when I worked there, I was like a germaphobe because I thought that I like hate touching discarded food. I think that's so gross, like
yeah,
chewed up, mashed up food like on the plate. I would just like nonstop wash my hands like because I just anytime I touch something, I just like we'd have guys that would like clear dishes off with their bare hands, touch like the slosh bucket. Like this is the thing, like so because like straws and like the little limes you put in drinks will
yeah,
clog up the drain. You have a slosh bucket that you pour all the shit in, and then like that kind of sifts it out. So when they dump it, it like collects all the stuff.
yeah.
You have people that would like dump that with their fucking like I wore gloves because I'm like, if this shit touches me, I'm gonna
Yeah,
fucking snap, right? We had guys that would touch that with like bare hands, pour it out, and then like grab like a fucking a roll and like eat it. I'm like, that's so gross.
nasty.
So like that's why I mean like the restaurant industry too, like you're sweating on people, you're coughing on people. Like
Yeah,
I like the mask idea. I like let's keep that.
yeah, absolutely. But I mean, like you said, that is pretty annoying. I mean, like how many times I've gone somewhere and got out of the car without the mask, quick
Oh,
turn around, back in the car.
it sucks too because you feel like you're naked. You're like, fuck, where's my protection?
Yeah, everyone's looking at you. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a guy at Walmart today. I think he left. He goes, I didn't even. He goes, I walked in with the mask. He goes, I took it off, put it in the cart, and like the whole time he walked around maskless and left. No one even said a word. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's like even it's like even with the fire department though too, like you're really supposed to be wearing them. But like when you go into a call, like that's the last thing you're thinking about, right? You got to get all that other stuff on. And like I forget all the time. But like
I'm surprised EMTs don't wear them like all pre-COVID.
yeah, I know. I know. They all do now. Those things are all the EMT guys. I don't think I've seen one of their faces since I got in the fire department because
I
they
feel like
those things are glued onto their face, man.
they're probably triple mask to the tits.
Yeah.
I feel like
But
that should have been like a necessity before COVID. Like, why aren't
yeah,
they wearing masks? Like, you're dealing with some fucking blood and shit. Like, I don't want that stuff.
yeah. But just hope everything goes back to normal soon, man. Because
I saw a great meme. BC stands before COVID, and AC stands after COVID. So like on the time scale, like yeah, we don't go by BC like Christ. It goes before COVID, after
yeah,
COVID. Makes so much sense.
yeah. A little story for you, and I want to see if you can relate. I'm sure you can. I'm excited to see what you had to say about it. But I had to drive my cousin and her boyfriend to the airport the other morning,
Oh yeah.
and I'm driving when I'm driving a car, and like I don't really know her boyfriend that well. And like if it was just me and her, I would drive. I wouldn't even think about it. But like I get like so nervous when I'm driving. I was driving in the airport. Like I didn't want to make a wrong turn or it's a lot of pressure, dude. Going to the airport, you missed the flight, whatever, right? So
Uh,
I'm going. It's going pretty well. We get to LaGuardia, and I don't know if you've ever been there. It's such a mess. Like there's construction everywhere. And she's like, "You know where to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know where to go. I've been here 100 times." But like with the construction and everything, some of the roads they're hard to tell if they're one way or not, right? So I come over this bridge and I could go right, like a tight right, or I could just keep going straight. And usually, like if it's a one-way road, they have those, do not enter signs, right?
oh yeah.
So she's like, "I think you're going right," and I'm like, "No," like I was acting like I knew what I was doing. I literally had no idea. I'm like, "No, I think we go straight." There's no cars on the road. It's pretty early in the morning, and I'm going down thing, and I see this big truck just banging left, right coming right at me, and I'm like, "Yep, this is definitely a one way." So I've probably done that in my life now, probably like 15, 20 times though, and that is the worst feeling
How
ever,
scary
especially
is that
other
feeling
people in
playing
the car.
chicken with a semi?
Yeah, but, I mean, please help me feel better here, like, tell me you've done something like that or
Oh my god, dude. I went down it pitch black. I had a car in Wilkes-Barre, right? So my aunt died, so I got her car. And mind you, like when you're playing juniors, you have like the bare minimum of set. You're living off like paper plates and everything. Like
yeah,
your parents give you like money for food and then like a little bit extra for fun. So like you're gonna maximize the money for fun and food and like minimize necessities. So like this car started breaking down. I had like no lights on the dashboard. So I couldn't really see like how fast I was going, but it was a manual car, so I could just tell by the shifting. That was the
yeah,
only way I could tell like how fast I was going, is like knowing what gear I was in.
yeah,
And yeah, I couldn't and like the lights barely worked on the outside. So when I was the time I went down the wrong way on the street, it was in that car because I couldn't fucking see. It was pitch black because the lights barely worked, and I couldn't even see how fast I was going. And I like the car like not only at nighttime those fucking lines do not like they don't shine at all. So you have no fucking idea if it's
yeah,
white, yellow, like for starters, like why couldn't they just like I don't know, make them glow in the dark so we could all see. Like, simple fix, right? You have glow in the dark paint, take advantage of it. But yeah, one way. But it was on an off ramp for a highway, so it was even more
Oh,
scary.
that's brutal. That's brutal.
Dude, I was so
Yeah.
terrified. These cars are flying down. It's like Grand Theft Auto when you go down the when you go on the wrong side of the road. I'm
Yeah.
like, cars are just going this way. I went just right over the medium. I was like, I'm not dying. I was just like, and just drove off. I was so
Yeah.
scared. Oh,
Yeah. It's
I have
and
that
like
buddy.
I was like just trying to act like I knew what I was doing too, you know. And it was so like, and then like I realized I wasn't doing the right thing. I
Oh,
was like, oh, dude.
so that my buddy, the firefighter there, that's in London. London obviously drives on the opposite side of the street. This kid bought a car. He sent me a snap. Fucking so frightening because like in my head, like the driver wheel is on our passenger side too, so it's even more fucked up. He sent me a snap of what it's like driving. It's so scary because these cars are whipping it on the other side of the street, so you really have to like remember like, okay, stay on the left. Like it's like I don't get why we just don't do everything universal. Like what the
I
fuck
know.
is the problem? Is that
I
only
know.
in England that you drive on the like I don't remember
There are a
when we
couple
went to
places.
Sweden.
I don't know all of them, but there are a couple places over there that they drive on the opposite side.
When we went to Sweden for hockey, we were pretty young though, but like I cannot remember what side of the street they were on because that was like the least one. Like we didn't drive, so like it was all
Yeah.
like buses for the most part. So like, I'm trying to figure out if like England, if anyone does know this, put that in the write a review, maybe toss that in there or toss a comment. Love to know. Is England the only place that drives on the left side? But yeah, I'd be curious because this shit, it fucking scared me. These cars are whipping too on the other side. Like, if you just go into like muscle memory, like on a fucking Tuesday and you think you're back in Florida, like you're fucked.
Yeah. Not paying attention. Yeah, that could be a problem.
Oh, let me get your take on this. What is your feeling towards these like TikTokers?
I don't have much of an opinion. What do you mean? Like these like the big name people? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what's this kid's name?
Bryce Hall, any of those little tip
Yeah,
bags?
dude. I think they're all just
Losers.
yeah.
Losers.
And like this Bryce Hall kid thinks he's tough now, huh?
Oh my God, just because you pick up a couple 25s at the gym, you think you can fight everybody?
Yeah,
Like, buddy, oh
crazy.
my, dude,
I don't
okay,
understand how these kids had got to this point.
dude, how do people like him? That's the thing that pisses me
Yeah.
off so much. Is like, this kid's the biggest tool bag, okay? I don't even fucking like your shit. I don't even follow your shit. I only looked at it because I just like came across my desk that I should probably check out TikTok and see what fucking that whole shit's about because now it's on Barstool and it's like kind of like blowing up, but it's like,
Yeah, dude. It's like so much. There's so much drama there too. Like I don't know any about it, but like I see stuff like all the time.
oh,
Like
it the
they're
fact
breaking
that
up with each
people
other.
like,
They're cheating on each other.
oh, dude, they're worse than I'd rather have the Kardashians. I'd rather deal with the Kardashians every single day of my life, and I fucking hate them than
Yeah,
like listen to
it's
these
wild.
TikTokers.
I actually like I asked like one of the guys, like this kid on on my team. He was like,
Is he big into TikTok?
he's big into it, but he doesn't make him or anything. But like he likes that podcast that Portnoy does.
Oh,
With,
BFFs.
yeah, and like he's trying to explain it to me one day, and I'm like, dude, but like I get it. Like
But it's
he's
all
on
fake.
Barstool. I'm like, how though? I'm like, how did this happen?
Yeah, it's like who wants to listen to this douchebag talk about his life? Okay,
Yeah.
I like talking to the guy who just took a hot shit and ran out of TP. That's my type of guy. Like mid shit ran out of TP.
Yeah. I don't get it though, man.
That's right.
It's wild. Dude, you
How
see the
about
houses they live in?
yeah, it's massive. Like who's fronting these bills? Like obviously their parents because there's no way these fucking jabronis just get a house. Like
No.
there's no way. They probably bought their first 100,000 followers, so people think they're important. And like this kid puts out T-shirts, Party Animal University. That's so cool, dude. Did you ever go to college? Did you even, dude? You grew up on fucking seltzers, you big pussy? Okay, like don't tell me anything about partying. Okay, Party Animal University. You grew up on seltzers, you big pussy. Try growing up on Natty Lights that are like fucking mid outside in the summer heat, and that's like the only thing that you can get because you're 18 years old. Like we had Rolling Rock. I give a guy like $30 to go buy me booze. He come back with Rolling Rock. I'm like, That wasn't even on any of the lists. That I gave you like a list of 5. It was like Bud Light. It was like Bud Light, Natty Light. Oh, it's Natty Light. That's my go guy. Bud Light. It was like Bud Heavies and like Keystone. He came back with Rolling Rock. Like, who the fuck drinks that shit?
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
It
How
is.
about so this is the thing that gets me so heated too. So I go on this. That's how I saw it, is the BFF shit. Because Portnoy
Yeah,
was
Portnoy
talking to
doesn't
him like, who the fuck are these little losers, and why is Dave getting involved? Dave, stay out of this if you're listening. You're too good for that. Kind of. I don't want you. I don't want you getting too.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, though, Dave is funny with that though. Because he like low key chirps them.
Oh, I think he secretly hates it, but I know he's like a marketing wizard. So he's.
Yeah, exactly. But he gets them fired up.
Oh, he knows how to stir the pot. That's what Dave
Gets
does.
them all fired up. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I can't get his head too big. You gotta keep him level. So you just say, "Hey, you did a great job this time." Like, it just keeps him right about the wheelhouse of, "Hey, I'm not the best, but I have improvement." You go, "Hey, you did a great job this time. We'll see next time."
Yeah.
It's just the biggest
I'll tell you
cocksucker move.
I'll tell you who I do love though. The Nelk boys.
See, Nick loves the Nelk Boys. I fucking hate them.
Really?
I think they're the biggest tits ever.
Really?
I think I like the way they talk. Like, they're a couple Canadian boys. You got no problem with a couple Canadian boys, but I don't know. The tits and the ass videos, like, come on, dude. You're sitting on Instagram DMing like 40 broads. So it's like so easy when you're at that level of success, right? And then like it's all just like slow motion and just like whip transitions. Like, that's literally like, I don't know, dude, the whole like the glamorizing the party shit. Like, I don't know. I fucking
Yeah. I don't watch them for that. I just think they're hilarious.
like the little pranks they do.
Thanks they do the way they like when they like I was watching one the other day. Did you see the one where one of them has a warrant for his arrest for inciting a riot because he like told all the fans like on a live stream that he was gonna go out and meet him in Texas somewhere. And there was thousands of people out there waiting for this guy, and the cops that went to him and said, if you go ahead with this, we're gonna put a warrant out for your arrest for inciting a riot. And this guy got he's no worries. He's in the back of a pickup truck driving through town. There's people everywhere. Cops are so pissed. Helicopters, crazy.
Jesus. Yeah, but he's got. I mean, you don't go on Air Force One if you're not gonna have a couple boys that are gonna bail you out from the top.
Yeah,
You don't go doing the YMCA with Donald Trump if you're not worried about.
Yeah, dude.
Those guys will get arrested. They'll be back on the streets by tomorrow.
The Steve will do it guy. I think he's
Nick. Yeah, Nick loves that guy. He's not the. I don't mind him.
He looks like a long lost Gronkowski.
Yeah, he looks like Gronk, but like maybe 5'6" height.
Yeah.
Most likely 5'6". Like, I just look at him next to the car. I go, yeah, most likely 5'6". But yeah, he looks like a pretty. He looks like an all right time. But like, I don't like the fucking slow motion. The girls with the fucking tits out. The beer pong. It's like, dude, we all fucking party, okay? I don't need to fucking have it in slow motion. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
I do hate those. I don't mind. I would rather hang out with the Nelk Boys than hang out with those fucking TikTokers. Dude. I would just fucking blow my brains out if I had to. There's probably everyone's phone's probably out taking Snapchats. You can't even like get through a game of beer pong. like I saw that kid. He put up like for the boys. I'm like, for starters, you big pussy. You're far from for the boys. Okay. I would take down a fucking tank for my boys with a smile on my face. That kid would cry if he even had to make out with a 7, okay? I'm in the trenches, okay? I'm for the boys. Riley's for the boys. Local big time's for the boys, okay? We block shots, not buddies.
Right.
Like, that kid has never been for the boys once in his life. He probably fucking micro needles every night he goes to bed.
I just don't understand. Like, where are your parents at too?
Oh, they're fronting the bill. Their parents are gone because they fucking. I'm guaranteed Daddy's an angel investor. I mean, look at that kid. He's definitely had work done. Like, you don't. In a non. Without getting me in trouble. He's a good looking cat. But he's still a tit.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not really that good. Fuck him. He's a tit.
Look at the earrings and everything.
I can see why, dude. I see why these kids do so well. If you just have a good looking face, which like 99.9% of all the TikTokers have like an amazing face, perfect white teeth. Obviously, they've had some work done, but like everyone just falls in love with like their looks. It doesn't matter. That kid could eat a fucking glass of dog shit and people would still fucking watch him. It's
Yeah.
just because he's like a good looking cat. And then they do these stupid like drama vlogs are like the stupidest thing I've ever like. Why the
Yeah.
fuck would anyone want to watch someone else living an awesome life? Like my favorite thing, what we used to do, because Norwich just sucked so much nutsack. Like that, for starters, that school's a prison. So naturally, like your weeknight, it's not a normal college, but we used to get like shit faced and watch I'm Schmack videos to like other big schools, and then just like get me so fired up because I'm like, oh fuck yeah, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna go to a big school and just watch. It's just like imagination land how these places are. You go to some of these places, I kid you not. I can't believe it's a college. Like I'm like, how the fuck do
Yeah,
people?
dude. It's like my buddy at Bama, dude. His exact words, but he was like, he like whatever I was talking to him about it. I'm like, you like going to school down there? And he was like, after like his first year, and he came home for the summer, and we're talking about. It. And he looks at me, and he goes, "Dude, it's like Disneyland. It's so
Second,
fun."
sickening. I had a buddy who went to ECU, East Carolina, right?
Yeah.
First day, pool party. They have pools in the middle of your dorm. That's not a college experience, okay? That's a luxury hotel.
Tampa's like that too. Tampa's ridiculous like that too. But like the dorms they live in are like studio.
Beachfront properties.
Yeah, it's
It's
wild.
like I don't know how is the retention rate? Like who the fuck is going to class when there's hot chicks laying out by the pool? Like I all I think about is ASU hockey. Like how the fuck? Why would you play anywhere else except in the desert for Arizona State? Rockets, summer all year round, fucking paradise. You're like what, an hour from LA at best, like 45 minutes to Vegas by plane. Like if you wanted to, you can just do like quick rips. You could drive to Vegas if you really wanted to. Like that's such a sick area.
You see the rink they're building at ASU?
Probably nasty.
Sick.
It's huge. They're gonna be
It
natty,
it's
natty
not
champs.
it's not that big, but it's just nice.
I just don't see, like I don't see like a kid wanting to go to like a like a if you had your choice. Like obviously it's BC's BC, right? Tons of history, all that shit. But like UConn or ASU, you gotta pick ASU. Like what the fuck? Like think of all the teams outside of like Hockey East that you if you're nasty and you know you're gonna be set, why wouldn't you want to play there?
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, North Dakota's pretty fun, but like Bemidji State, do you really want to live in that fucking town? Like fucking middle of nowhere, Minnesota, when you don't see summer ever.
Yeah.
Plus ASU flies everywhere too. So like
They
and I
have to.
heard they fly like first class, like real nice amenities.
I
Like
believe it. There's just so much money they have there over there to be spent. Think
so
about
much. Well,
football
it also
and
helps because like they also have like big time basketball and big time football, so they
yeah,
know how to run like a business.
exactly. Yeah.
Like they're not worried. It's just I just like how the fuck would like why would you play it like UVM when you have ASU in your back pocket?
Well, I'm telling you, ASU is going to be. I mean, they already are pretty good, but like
Oh
give it
my god.
a couple more years. Once they get that rank, they're going to be lights out.
I need an inside scoop to that recruiting visit. What does that entail?
Yeah.
We got to get some boots on the ground, or we need somebody to give us an inside scoop of what it's like
Yeah.
recruiting visit.
All right, wild.
Thompson once. Do you ever hear Thompson's recruiting visit story?
No.
St. Lawrence. Him and this kid Pat Doherty. They were they didn't play together, did they? But they're both New Hampshire kids, so they knew each other. So they go to visit St. Lawrence. So typically they bring you in like a Friday or like a Saturday. It just depends on like kind of when your schedule is. Most of the time it's like what Saturdays for when you go.
Saturday. Yeah.
It's
Or
usually
Friday, because like they want to get you to a game usually.
yeah. So Thompson, I think he went on a Saturday, because that night so what happens is like you usually like watch the game, you meet the coaches, and then like the coaches usually give you like one of the players on the team to go stay with, right? Like for the night. And you know this because you've been on like a billion. Actually, pre-COVID, COVID might have fucked your shit up. But you,
I was on a couple. They won in Norwich.
yeah, I forgot about that. You went to Norwich. You know the deal. But like, so Thompson, those guys, they go out. Like, so after like the coach drops them off with the players. Like, so naturally Saturday, I'm sure like they probably won. The boys are fired up. They just get obliterated. So like the next morning, like the coach picks you up and like brings you like breakfast and stuff. Thompson had his head in between his legs during the breakfast. He was so hungover. He was like, "I'm gonna puke." Like during the recruiting visit, like just like this, like just like trying to cut eggs.
It worked out for him though.
Yeah, he crushed it. He had a sick career. But yeah, Doherty tells me that story. He's like, you should have seen this kid. He was in so much pain. Head in his feet while like the coach was like sitting across from him during the
That's
breakfast.
incredible.
Oh,